Hi, I'm Gina Ventola, Practice Manager for Ventola Law. One of the best parts of my job is meeting with business owners. However, at times, it can be difficult to meet in person. That's why I started this show, to introduce you to local business owners in our community. Join me on your virtual coffee, a new kind of networking. Hey everybody, welcome to Your Virtual Coffee, a web show that introduces you to great local businesses in the Denver metro area. And with me today is the wonderful Claudia Pillow. She is the owner of TeamLogic IT. Their firm offers comprehensive IT services to small and medium-sized businesses serving the downtown Denver and Cherry Creek area. They are a recognized managed services provider, ranked in the top 1% of the annual MSP Mentor list of worldwide managed IT service providers. They offer solutions such as remote monitoring, data network service, cybersecurity, cloud-based business community, voice over IP, and secure email solutions, as well as hardware and software computer support. Their mission is to become your trusted technology advisor and 24/7 CIO. And with that, Claudia, welcome to my show.
Thank you, Gina. I'm happy to be here.
So let's just kick this off. Tell us about yourself.
So I've been in the Denver area for 2 years. My husband's job transferred us here, and we absolutely love it. We had lived in Texas for 22 years, and I've always loved the outdoors and hiking and adventure. So this really has hit home for me. Like I feel like I've always lived here, or I always should have lived here. So I am a very excited transfer to the Denver area. And when I came, I had just retired, and I had health and wellness clinics in Dallas. And I was just gonna go and explore and have fun. And we got here, and my husband and his company, they just decided it wasn't a good fit anymore. So he quickly pulled me out of retirement and had me join him in this incredible adventure, which we call TeamLogic IT. And so far it's been fun. You know, a couple things about me, would be important is my family is really important. I love to travel, and I love great food and wine, and what a great place to do all of that.
So Claudia, do you have a favorite cuisine as far as food goes?
No. So it's more, I like food cooked simply, and then the sauces and what you do to it. And, you know, if I had to eat one food every day, it would be an egg. I could eat eggs every day.
Interesting.
But I love all cuisines, and I love traveling the world and discovering them. You know, from Morocco to, of course, I love Italian foods and Tuscany and French Mediterranean. But a couple years ago, we went to Iceland. Have you been there?
I have not.
They have some, you know, interesting whales that you eat and puffin penguins. So we definitely, even though it was kind of against our moral code, when in Iceland, that's what you eat.
I was about to ask that because I've heard the same thing about kangaroo in Australian type cooking. I think they refer to it as skippy. That
Yeah.
would be, like you just mentioned, that would be a moral dilemma for me as well. So you mentioned, Claudia, that you work with your husband, as do I, and I get this question a lot, so I'm going to ask you, what is it like working with your spouse?
So I have to say it's been difficult for me because Tim, my husband, for the first 25 years of our marriage, he traveled Monday through Friday. So I've always been independent. He hasn't been around. I've worked, we kind of do our own thing. So now we work together, and I think in circles. I multitask. I love to solve problems. And I'm also, I don't, when an issue comes up, I try to resolve it right away. I'm probably not as nice about it, because if you don't take care of problems right away, I just know from experience that they grow, and then and you can be nice or you can be direct. And I tend to be direct in solving problems. So Tim's an engineer. He thinks linearly. He's, he has his patterns of behavior. So we have had to learn how to compartmentalize work and then our home life. And where do we leave it at the door? So I have to say, I can't say I have it nailed yet. How about you? Because you've been at it much longer.
Yes, my biggest thing is that we have separate workspaces and we don't try to do each other's job. I think those two things, you have those boundaries in place, both one being physical and one being more psychological, I think helps a lot. But
yeah, I use the term stay in your lane probably twice a day.
yeah, I guess that would probably be our motto. I mean, mine's a little easier because my husband is an attorney and I'm not. So there are things he absolutely has to do because I cannot. So for us, it's a little easier to stay in the lane. But let me ask you, what about information technology intrigues you?
Well, so what you just said about your husband, he's the lawyer. Tim is really the technology expert, and I have always admired his knowledge and his capacity to really leverage technology and make life simpler, mainstreamed. So, being from the health and wellness where I've helped thousands of people feel better about their lives, I realized technology is the heart of business. Just like, we have to take care of what our bodies so that we can live good lives. Today, if your technology isn't in order and you don't know how to leverage it to be more efficient, productive, secure, and profitable, you are not going to make it as a business. So every customer is different for us. Every time we meet someone, it's a new problem. We love it. It has to be the same for you, right?
Yes.
So
Yes, indeed.
it's never boring. So I also, for me, I used to be afraid of technology, and I always felt that I was being mansplained in my businesses. So I love the challenge of a lot of our clients are women. So I love to go out and just relate on non-technical terms how we can change their lives, change their businesses, and make things easier for themselves. So it's similar to the health and wellness, where we really take care of the heart of their business.
Oh, I like that.
Mm-hmm.
So what's the best way that TeamLogic IT works with business owners?
The best way, so our process is they usually contact us from one way or another, and we set up a call. Is that what you mean by how we work?
Yes.
Okay. We set up a call, and similar that you would have a client consultation, we go in and we ask a series of questions. We call it discovery. So we find out what their pain points are, where they want to be, what their business goals are, and then we help them develop a roadmap. And we either, depending on the size and their goals, we can either do it as the managed service provider where we're the only IT resource for the company, or we co-partner with their IT director. And then from there, depending on what they need, we set up, we implement, and really we're about being proactive, preventative, and responsive. And that's really what our promise to our customers and clients.
Do you think that's what makes your managed service provider business special or different from others? Is that kind of attention to detail kind of thing?
Several other reasons. So number one, we're locally owned, but we're part of a national franchise. So there's 200 plus other TeamLogic franchises throughout the United States. We have over 600 technicians at our fingertips. So if we don't know something or we haven't seen something, within our network, we know someone has seen it. And then we can buy software less expensively because we buy it as a co-op, and we can pass those savings on to our customers so we can do a more value-based pricing. And what makes, I think, our model where it's about remote managed services, we do not profit if there's a problem. It actually costs us more and decreases our profits. So our profit model is aligned with our client's profit model. And once they see that, so in the business, when something happens and they call you, we call it break fix, where we have to respond to a problem immediately. Our goal is that you never call us. You have a fixed price every month. I only want to see you for coffee. Like that, that's a good day at TeamLogic IT.
I love that, because that sentiment kind of passes on to your clients, where they understand the bottom line. Hey, they're not benefiting from me having a crisis kind of thing. You step in and fix it so that you, in a more proactive way. Is that correct? Versus reactive.
To prevent them. So we, in our remote services, we download what we call agents into people's, either their computers or their servers, into their systems. So we're monitoring 24/7. So when a problem starts to arise, it's easier to it's like when your car starts to make a funny noise. If you only knew what was wrong with it, you could fix it before it breaks down. And that's what we try to do. So we go in, we take care of it. We don't let it explode, where a lot of our competitors, they can operate on like they can come in at a lower cost, but at the end of the day, you end up charging more because their profit model is when you have a problem. That's how they make money. So it's really, it's a lot of our clients are like battered children. We have to get them off this, right? Do you know exactly what I'm talking about?
Yes.
It's like, everyone should get a good night's sleep and wake up feeling good. That's my mantra in the health and wellness world. So it's the same thing with businesses. You do not have to be abused by your managed service provider.
Or kind of held hostage, I would say.
Exactly.
Now, Claudia, let's talk about power partners. Now, for our audience, power partners are those businesses that target the same client that we do, but are not our competition. A great example would be a real estate agent and a mortgage broker. They help the same client, but they're not in competition with each other. So with that being said, Claudia, what is your ideal client?
Okay, our ideal client for TeamLogic IT is someone, it's B2B, someone who is selling to other businesses. So it would be a CPA, it would be someone who does payroll, human resources, anybody who deals directly with decision makers in companies, because really, due to the cost of technology and technology services, it's usually, we need to access the CFO, the CEO, the business owner, or human resources. Those are usually the people that we need to touch and talk to sell our services. So it would be anybody who is going in and talking to the decision makers. So insurance is another great one, where they're doing any type of insurance to a business. Commercial real estate brokers know when businesses are opening and closing. That's another great resource for us. But it's really, it's the professional industry. So it would be lawyers, it would be CPAs, insurance companies, payroll, human resource.
Okay. Do you have, as far as this ideal client, do you have a firm size? Should they be of a certain size? I mean, obviously, if you have an office, it's by the dropper where the computer plugs into the system. By number of drops, how do you kind of calculate that?
In theory, when people ask us that, we would say from 5, we call them endpoints, which could be a computer, a phone, a server, anything that we need to address. So 5 to 200, but but you make a rule and then the next day you break it, right? So if we have someone like I know you through our networking group, and those relationships are really important to me. So if someone needs us to do something for a single office, we're there. And we can't always do it right away, but we will go service anybody that's within our network. And now as companies are coming, they're more sensitive to cash flow because of what's been going on with the economy, and they're going to still be like that for the next 18 months at least. So we have now introduced a co-managed type model where we go in and we support the IT director, and we become a member of his or her staff, because for various reasons they've had to lay off people have become sick, or they don't want to come to the office anymore. So we have now gone in and we are filling that void. So we call it a co-managed situation. So from there, we can go anywhere up to 500 endpoints pretty easily.
Okay. I think that's a pretty good indicator. I mean, you mentioned several referral partners or power partners, whether people in the professional employment organization space, HR, payroll, those types of things, law firms, because we like business clients. I'm thinking too, office services. So maybe those people who supply copy and supplies and copier services and all of those things, because a lot of those places bundle services like you do, but in a different way.
That's a great idea. I have not come across, like we have done relationships with internet providers, people who lay cable. We're starting to come in where I guess it's work within a building as they're getting it ready to open. So we're starting those type of relationships, but I haven't even thought about the coffee or, office supplies, right? That's really what you're talking about, office supplies.
Right. There are some, and I have a friend who works for one. They provide office services such as coffee and, maybe supplies for the break room, snacks, things like that. If you have an office of that size that requires that type of vendor, I'm pretty sure they would require you. Does that make sense?
Yes, it's a great idea.
So something like, so I will facilitate an introduction to my friend who handles that. So what is the best way for business owners to reach out to you and TeamLogic IT?
Our favorite way is a phone call. And one of our things that we try to do differently than a lot of businesses is we pick up the phone when it rings. So, even we're very cognitive about it throughout the day. If one of us is on a meeting, we text, okay, you get the phones now. So, because there's nothing more frustrating is when you finally get to the point where you reach out, you want to talk to someone, you get a voicemail and they don't call you back for 24 hours and you've already moved on, right? You need a problem solved yesterday. And so we love phone calls. We actually pick up the phone. And then email is another great way to contact us. We're very good about getting back right away.
Well, what I will do is I will include a slide in here that has your contact information. And so when our fans watch this, they'll be able to contact you directly. Do you have any last thoughts of anything we've gone over or not gone over?
As far as the IT world,
Mm-hmm.
I guess it's a personal thing for me just because I know, and I don't want to stereotype women at all, but I know when I go to meetings, and I believe men don't know a lot about technology either. They just don't admit it. So I really feel good that I can deliver services because I don't mansplain. I talk to them the way I want them to talk to me. And I ask them their pain points and where do you want to go? What do you want to do? So it's important for me, just like in the health and wellness, there has to be a connection. We're family owned. My husband and me, we run it. And, we like it matters. We want to make a connection. We want to know your names. We want to know about your kids. So I guess the last thing is we really bring a certain type of humility and humanity to the technology world. And whenever possible, comedy, because it is really dry and complicated. And my husband's really funny. So we try to make people's lives better. And it's been really fun because there's nothing better at the end of the day when we come home and we're like, wow, we solved that. And they're going to be okay now. So that, if we end on one note, it's really important. Like my mission is to make people feel better about themselves, whether it's health and wellness, technology, just being there when they need me. And that's what I try to do for my clients.
Well, thank you, Claudia. And friends, I will include the contact information for both Claudia and TeamLogic IT. I can tell you wholeheartedly, I worked in the IT space for many years with a law firm emphasis, and I can tell you the services that TeamLogic IT offers are wonderful, and they are good. If you need that extra hand, if your local office and your main office is out of the state, I recommend giving them a call because they can step in and set up those printers and set up that accounting system where you can just step in and run your business, and you don't have to learn IT because you can rely on Claudia and her company to help you. And with that said, thank you for watching your virtual coffee and have a great day.
And thank you so much for having me, Gina.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Your virtual coffee is sponsored by Ventola Law. Ventola Law, mediation and legal representation at an expert level. You can find them at ventolalaw.com. Thanks for joining me today. For more information on your virtual coffee, check us out on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and wait for it, our website at yourvirtualcoffee.com. Thanks again for watching and have an incredible day.